Stick.com. Wanted to let you know they do a lot of hockey-themed stuff, T-shirts, hoodies, hats, trucker hats, and also do curling and other winter sports. So if you're interested in some kind of casual sports and just casual wear, I wear their T-shirts all the time. Check out sodastick.com. By the way, tell Fred, who's 92, that I work with Sid, and Fred is definitely my favorite 90-something human being. It's not close. It is absolutely not close.
Wasn't it David, you a couple weeks ago, by the way, that pointed out on the podcast that Anthony LaPanta was right about this team? Wasn't that you? It was somebody came on. Oh, okay. Somebody came on here and pointed that out. I just wanted to
And I'm sure they didn't say just to get your goat at all.
So before in the press room, so I'm filling in on the Fan tomorrow morning, 9 to noon. And so in the press room yesterday, we're talking about the Wild, and Anthony's being as normal, just like, oh.
Well, you know that mic 9 to noon, only you have to say that every local team's going to win a championship. It doesn't filter anything else through.
He's just going on and on about how this is no big deal, the way the Wild are playing, and my head is about to just erupt off my freaking neck in the press room yesterday before the game. And finally, I'm just like, what are you doing on Thursday morning, 9 and 10? We need to have a freaking argument on the Fan. So I'm bringing him in studio tomorrow just to freaking yell at him. So.
Well, now he'll know what my life is like.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to ask you about Suter, but first, Chris is here with a question.
By the way, if you want to go to the Alps with Anthony and me, it's going to be fun.
Oh, it'll be a great time.
DefineDestinations.com. Come. Chris?
2 questions. Since
nice
you
haircut.
already Thanks. Appreciate it.
You're in a mood.
I went up to Eric Sinek today. I'm like, nice haircut. He's like, yeah, my hair's too curly. And I'm like, and he's like going on and on about his curly hair. I was just like, I was just complimenting haircut. He got it. It's kind of like you, tight on the sides, a little buzz on top.
Good. So following up on who do you think Boston would trade for Coyle, should they trade?
I have no clue. I mean, the name out there is guys like Ryan Donato. I could count on no fingers how many Boston games I've watched this year. I just have not watched any of their games, so I just don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. It's not going to be David Krejci. A lot of people, like, he's perfect if he didn't make $7.5 million. But they need a right shot. That's what they need from every team. Like, to me, that should be the only thing they're looking for. Let me ask you guys this. Would you trade for Tarasenko? He's suddenly available, allegedly, reportedly. Jeremy Rutherford.
What would it take to get him?
I don't know. It's a good point. Left shot.
Coyle?
Yeah. I don't know if they'd ever trade a star like that in division, though. I just don't see the Wild. And Armstrong makes huge moves. Like, I just don't see a fit, but it's an interesting name. Like, St. Louis is about to blow everything up. Blow that team up. They have zero leadership or anything like that. So,
thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
So, yep.
We have Mother of Cheese here, who promised to come heckle us, and now she's going to follow through.
You remember me?
I remember, yes.
Well, I have a dilemma.
Let's hear it.
I have finals on Friday. Do I watch the game tomorrow night or do I study?
Watch the game.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's teaching you a life skill.
Or you could DVR the game and watch it after your final.
Oh, I don't even have that.
Okay,
I
either
don't
do
pay
I,
for
actually.
cable.
I don't know how to even
I'm too
turn on
cheap.
DVR.
Perks of being a student and being $100,000 in debt.
I would say that what you want to do is watch the game, and every time LaPanta starts telling you how great the Wild are, you can ignore it and do your studying.
Yeah.
And you'll be done. You'll be done by the end of the game.
Yeah. I think you watch the game. You're already $100,000 in debt. Who cares if you fail and have to spend another
roll.
$10,000?
Let it roll. Right. Don't go to a casino with Michael.
Yeah. That's the way you always chase. That's the way you lose money. You chase it on the craps table.
I learned so much from you about life on this show.
Yeah, that's good. Word to the wise.
Yeah. Twitter question from Alec: would Fenton be wanting more draft picks than players if he makes a trade?
Well, I mean, he still wants to win now. So if you're going to trade Coyle or Niederreiter, he's going to want people. He's going to want guys to me on that are going to play right now. But I don't see him trading a lot of draft picks off the team.
From Bill,
I did make the joke that he should call Philly and whatever he does from Philly, offer a player, but make sure you get a second-round pick back. I said, just tell Chuck that Russo says you owe the Wild a couple of seconds. So,
you mentioned Suter earlier, that he isn't playing well right now. Follow through. What's going on?
Well, I just think he's getting beat every game, 4, 5, 6 times a game, and I just, he doesn't skate backwards anymore. If you notice, he always is turning and skating almost forward back on the ice, and so this is all, I think, repercussions of the injury. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
this could be who he is. I will say this: I pointed that out to a NHL coach the other day, and the NHL coach told me, he goes, "Just watch all defensemen. None of them skate backwards anymore. They all have this bad habit of turning and skate. And so it's interesting." So,
well, it's a good thing Suter's deal is almost up.
you know that this year. They actually hit the halfway point of their contracts this year.
Wow.
I have to figure out the date and do a big story.
Maybe I'll do a column
halfway
through the story. Yay! By the way, John Torchetti was up on NHL Network.
I know. I got Torch on the radio tomorrow. I've talked to Torch about 10 times this week, too. I will say, I'm amazed at how Torch, when he's on the NHL Network, preps. He doesn't go in there blind. He's calling reporters to ask about the team that they're covering. So yesterday is an example where he had to talk Montreal and Minnesota. So he called me up and just asked me a bunch of questions about stuff that's going on with the team for him to talk about on the air. And he did that the other day when I was in Edmonton as well. And so I think that's awesome. So he's paying me back by coming on the Fan tomorrow.
There you go.
So.
What's up with Koivu? Is it a short-term thing?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's a lot more shorter than they thought. It's definitely, I think he's got a strained knee ligament. Although technically you can't really sprain. It's,
strain is
it's a very mild, let's put it this way, it's not major, and then he's got a hammy. He skated today. I think he's still working through the injury, according to some people that watched him skate. But he is definitely not nearly. He's not going to be 3 weeks unless he has a setback. It's not going to be the 3 weeks that I originally reported. A lot of it's probably the stubbornness of Mikko, but he's not gonna. He doesn't have a full grade 3 MCL sprain that usually takes 3 to 4 weeks. Let's put it that way.
Should anything be read into, and I know the answer is probably no, but I'll ask it anyway. Should anything be read into the fact that Koivu goes out and they score 7 goals?
I think that I don't think. Let's put it this way: I don't think that last night they would have lost the game if Koivu played, but they definitely looked faster. There's no doubt that second line with Coyle and Niederreiter and Parise was awesome. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I do agree. It's one of those things that you're driving home thinking about. There's one of those things that fans have pointed out to me. It didn't look great on The Athletic that we had this awesome story that Tony Abbott wrote that said, you're all going to have a reality check, and then it was kind of like the opposite thing happened where everybody was like, how about that reality check? So it's like it gave it was like the perfect storm of giving all the critics that we kind of patronized that day in The Athletic, how about sending us a bunch of middle fingers back on Twitter yesterday. So that was pretty funny. Hilarious. I always like laughing at Mikko's expense.
He listens to the show, so this will be a good thing to point out to him. We have a couple more minutes left.
Mikko's ticked about something I wrote recently. I'm just so impressed that you read. I thought you didn't read these stories. Somebody told me.
That's what they always say.
They always say.
I don't read it, but they always know.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy a subscription to your crappy blog.
Couple minutes left in the show. Last call for live questions. We can fit one more in if anybody has one. Want to thank, again, Dulono's Pizza, downtown Minneapolis, also in Woodbury. The downtown location is 118 North 4th Street, right by Ramp C. Walking distance to all the venues. 612-767-9494. I love their gluten-free pizza. I keep on recommending this place to people, and they keep on coming back and telling me how much they like it. So Dulono'sPizza.com. Thanks also to Whizkids.tech, Twill in the Edina Galleria, BiteSquad.com, FixologyRepair.com, and Tony Hoaglund, your State Farm agent in Champlin. Fire away, Mary.
Oh, just a question about Spurgeon. I hear so much he may be traded in the future just because I guess he's due for a big payout on his next contract.
Yeah.
Is there really? He is so good. He's so consistent. And dependable.
Well, first of all, you shouldn't listen to anything that I say since I've been telling you for 7 years that Granlund was going to be traded.
True.
Yeah, that's But again, process of elimination. I do think that this one that he is not here long term. I just think. I even think that he wouldn't mind a little change in scenery at some point. This guy wants to win. He's not going to take. His agent is the same agent as Jason Zucker, of guys like Wayne Simmons, Chris Stewart. I can't imagine that at 5,187 that he's going to take a pay cut. And so, how much more can you afford to pay him? When Dumba already makes 6, Suter already makes 7.5. He's going to be 30. Not that Jared Spurgeon at any point is going to get super old on us, but look, I mean. He is somebody that usually has an injury or 2 a year as well, although knock on wood it hasn't happened this year. So I just think that most likely if Louis Belpedio develops, if Philip Johansson develops, if Simon Johansson develops, that he probably is somebody here in the next 2 years that they wouldn't, he's going to want term too. Like, I'm sure the Wild would love to sign him on a 2 or 3 year deal just to keep everything out of whack, but I just don't see that happening. But it would be a sad day if that guy is gone. Yeah, he's just a class act, great player. Huge success story of the Brent Flahr, Chuck Fletcher regime as well. That's something that I forgot to put today. Let's jump.
Thank you, Mary. Thanks for coming down. We do appreciate it.
One person, Andy Pletcher, who's our friend from Grand Rapids, asked on Twitter if any known update on Chris Stewart since he, quote, stepped away to deal with some family stuff in October. He didn't deal with any family stuff in October. That was just his way to get out of his European contract. There was zero anything wrong, personally, trust me. That was also what his European team said to save face. With their media there, but nothing's wrong. He's just effectively retired. He runs the Stewart Hockey School with his brother Anthony up in Ontario. A really cool school that they've built up there. And not that I've talked to Chris this of late, but I've talked to his agent a bunch, and he's doing well.
Do you have a final thought for us, Michael?
Let me see. I did make a list of hilarious things that happened to me.
Allegedly hilarious.
Let's see. I was upset that I was in Zone 4 on Air Canada.
Zone 4?
Yeah, Zone 4.
How did you end up in Zone 4?
I know, isn't that ridiculous?
It is.
Yeah, like a peasant.
I'm going to lose sleep over this.
Yeah. Oh, I also had the most amazing suite in Vancouver. This suite was like 2,500 square feet. Douglas Hotel. Unbelievable. Like I was sending. You remember the suite that I had in Arizona with the swimming pool?
I remember.
I had a swimming pool, a suite,
and an extra bedroom.
Yeah, well, I had like 3 bedrooms,
and
a big gigantic kitchen and dining room, and it was one of our early Russo-Souhan shows.
It was
because that's the only reason why I allowed him to come to the suite.
Yes, otherwise I would have had no shot.
Yeah. But this thing, oh my God, and the views. Insane.
But what do you need a suite for? When I'm on the road in a hotel, all I need is a bed and a bathroom.
Yeah, but you would like to be able to brag about the suite on a podcast.
That's a very good point. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
I'm going to upgrade myself just so I can come here and tell fascinating stories about how many square feet I didn't use in my hotel.
That is true. I never went into the living room.
No, you never use it. I was when I was a baseball writer.
The living room was just I like to pass by to go to the bedroom in the office. I had a separate office too.
I went to Chicago to cover a playoff series when I was covering the Twins, and they gave me the presidential suite in the downtown Marriott, and it was they're like telescopes, the Marriott on Miracle Mile or whatever, and presidential suite. There's a piano. There's like 4 bedrooms. There's a full kitchen.
How come I've never gotten that freaking suite?
I slept there, and I did nothing else. It was a complete waste of time. All right.
In Tampa, a couple seasons ago, I had the presidential suite at that Waterside Marriott. Very nice. Oh, yeah.
Why don't you just keep going? Tell us about all the nice hotels you've stayed in.
Let's see.
Oh, we have, by the way,
picture?
No, we are up to 5 mentions only.
Tampa doesn't count as a Florida reference. It's not the Panthers.
All right, we're going to go. The judge is going to say you mentioned the Florida Panthers 4 times tonight, and that's under. That's way under what I expected.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed. You mentioned ladders more than you mentioned the Florida Panthers.
That I've been there.
So next show, I am daring one of our regulars, bring Michael a ladder. Bring Michael a ladder.
No way.
Bring Michael a ladder. And you owe all these people coffee, by the way.
Yes, we'll do it. Next time.
Thank you. Thank you to Dulono's Pizza. Thank you to everybody who came out for the show. We really appreciate it. You can find all the shows at talknorth.com. Thanks to our sponsors. And we will be putting